Hello, everybody. My name is Fred Lorenzo. I'm a history freshman here at FAU. I'm from South Florida, and this is Group 17's final project on Pablo Picasso's 1924 artwork Still Life with Biscuits. So, Pablo Picasso was an extremely influential and talented artist from Spain. The formal element I chose to focus on were the lines in Picasso's artwork. So, what first strikes me when I look at this is the very defined, regular, thick lines for the wine bottle, and then the thick, defined lines for the butter knife, for the fruit and the biscuits. And then I take a step back and then I see the less defined, more implied, less striking lines that form the walls and the floor, the leaves, the table. And I made a connection that Picasso is trying to make us shift focus in this artwork. First, we're looking at the individual pieces. We see the wine bottle, we see the fruit, we see the biscuits and the knife, and then we take it in as a whole. He uses lines to convey this message. We look at the little pieces individually, and then we take a step back, and then we see the whole thing. This painting connects to my life because it reminds me of when my mother used to cook large breakfasts for my family on the weekends, a table like this full of food, not a lot of wine, but just as Picasso has defined his artwork with lines, my mother would define our mornings with a large breakfast on the weekends.
My name is Danica Lupo, and today I'll be discussing the formal element of shape in Pablo Picasso's Still Life with Biscuits. One of the first things you'll notice in this piece is how Picasso doesn't try to make anything look realistic. Instead, he breaks everything down into simple shapes. The biscuits, plates, and even the tables are turned into circles, rectangles, and these funky curved shapes that overlap each other. It's kind of like he took the objects apart and rearranged them into puzzle pieces. Because of that, the picture looks flat but also super interesting, like you're seeing objects from a bunch of different angles at the same time. The shapes are basically what hold the whole artwork together. I pick shape because it actually connects to my life experience in a weird way. I'm always breaking things down to understand them better, whether it's a problem, an idea, or whatever we're learning. That's kind of what Picasso is doing here. By simplifying everything into basic shapes, he makes you look at ordinary objects differently. And honestly, it reminds me that sometimes you have to break things down into smaller parts before you can really get what's going on. Thank you for listening.
My name is Ryan Linden. I'm a freshman at FAU studying exercise science. My group chose the painting Still Life with Biscuits by Pablo Picasso. The formal element I chose to focus on is Picasso's cubic style, which can be seen in many of his other paintings as well. He specifically uses a cubic structure surrounding or within many items or elements of each painting. Specifically, in this painting, there are thick, long, rectangle like shapes around the background. This element not only helps represent subjects from multiple viewpoints, but the rigidity of lines can help understand structure or texture of an item, such as the glass bottle having more rigidity than other items. To add even more detail, he uses sand, thicker paint, or cracking paint to create depth and texture. In this painting, the biscuits were created with a thicker paint. I can relate to this painting because Picasso produced this piece at a joyful time in his life when he had just had his son 2 or 3 years prior and was still with his wife at the time. I correlate biscuits specifically to my occasional family dinners on holidays such as Thanksgiving and Christmas. This special time with my family brings happiness and peace relating to Picasso's life at the time.
Hi, my name is Morgan Macari. I'm from Rhode Island and I'm a sophomore studying social work here at FAU. The artwork my group chose is the Pablo Picasso Still Life with Biscuits from 1924. I'm going to be talking about the composition of this piece. It focuses on everyday objects like a table, a cup, and biscuits, and they're arranged in flat overlapping shapes. Everything is broken down into clean lines and geometric forms. It's almost as if he's showing the structure beneath these simple items. The muted colors and balanced layout give the painting a calm, intentional feeling, where every object is placed purposefully. I relate to this painting because of how Picasso, he takes something so simple and makes it into, he makes it meaningful and analyzes it. And as a student studying social work, I want to be a therapist or something to do with that area. And you learn that the little things really do matter and they shape who we are as people. So yeah, the little things just are more meaningful than we think.
Hey everyone, my name is Madison McKenzie and I'm a freshman here at Florida Atlantic University and I'm majoring in accounting. So the painting we decided to do today was Still Life with Biscuits, which is a painting by Pablo Picasso. And the formal element that I decided to do is texture. So looking at the painting, you can see the background here is split into two sides. The right side is a lightish gray with a smooth texture that almost looks like concrete. Then on the left side, it's a white creamish color with red that is sort of cracked and almost looks like tree bark. And then looking at the tablecloth here, this is where you can see like most of the texture, and it's very smooth. There's no detail to the leaves whatsoever, and there's no like bumps or anything. It's just very clean. And then on the right side of the tablecloth, there's very textured leaves, very realistic, that look like they have sort of like bumps on it, and then you can see the light. It's highlighted on the left side, which shows that there's light coming from the left, and the leaves look very realistic. And then you see the background, and there's like bumps. It looks almost like dirt or like pebbles or rubble or something behind it. And this artwork personally relates to me because looking at the tablecloth, I can see myself, like, you see the left side is very like minimalistic, boring, and then the right side is a lot more intricate. And then this relates to me because I sort of like, you might look at me on the outside and I might remind you of like the left side, which is like, it's not very intricate and stuff, but once you get to know me, I'm more like the right side, which there's a lot more like personality and like there's a lot more to it.